Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Football channel. Today we've got a Champions League and Europa League sort of review and preview, essentially. But before I let Ethan go into what we're going to be talking about today, we've got a guest on. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yo, it's your boy. You don't know me, but my name's Harrison. I'm mate to these guys, and I am a debutee on this podcast, and it's feeling good, man. Unbelievable
scenes. Right, I'm going to let Ethan go into what we're going to be talking about today.
Right, so we're going to be reviewing the Champions League and Europa League games that happened on, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, etc. Then after that, we're going to be doing the score predictions for the second legs. They're happening next week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So then we've got 2 debate questions this week. This episode. Is Mikel Arteta the problem at Arsenal, or is it the players?
Mm-hmm. Bit of an obvious one, that is.
To be honest, who gives a shit, because we're Stoke fans.
Well, listen. Hold on. This relates into Europa League, this does, because Arsenal, we will get into it, but obviously they picked up a disappointing draw in the Europa League. Yeah. So there's a lot of people discussing on AFTV and other platforms, is it time for the manager to go, or do we give the summer? So that's why I thought put that in there, see what people think.
Yeah,
but anyway, carry on.
Right, so the last debate question and the last thing we're going to talk about is Mbappe is actually officially confirmed that he's not signing a new deal with PSG.
Fucking hell.
And his contract runs out in 2022. So where should he go next?
Yeah, exactly. So it should be an interesting one. So we'll get straight into it then. Should we review the Champions League games first or the Europa League? I don't mind.
Let's get rid of the Europa League. Give the out. Get rid of shitters.
Right. So anybody who is listening who may support a team that's in Europa League, I'm sorry about that, but there you go.
It's a shit competition, let's be honest.
It's a bad competition. That's why we're talking about it in the podcast.
Yeah. Right. Let's go. Hey,
okay. Right. Let's have a look then. So we'll start off. We're not going to start off with Arsenal because that's probably was the most interesting one, to be honest. So we'll go with Dynamo Zagreb. You took on Villarreal, and Villarreal won 1-0. What do you think of that, guys?
To be fair, Villarreal away 1-0. Very good 1-0 that is for Villarreal. Very needed. Because second game, they've got the away goal, so easy could be, because we know what happened to Tottenham when Dynamo Zagreb played against them.
Yeah.
Good win for Villarreal.
What do you think, Az?
Yeah, almost entirely agree. Really, away goal is again very important. If we're talking Champions League or Europa League, and I don't know. Well, I don't really know a lot about these both teams. I would say Villarreal are definitely the favourites. Of those 2 games that are going to be played. But yeah, obviously great away goal, and I wouldn't be surprised if they. The second leg they play home?
Second leg.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's another comfortable win, and I definitely will see them probably going to the next round.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like you two said, obviously good away goal. I think as well, I can't see Dynamo Zagreb come back like they had against Tottenham, because I think Villarreal, they're in an okay position as a team, whereas I think Tottenham are just starting to collapse, really, as a team at the moment. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
There's talk about what's going to happen with Mourinho. There's then players calling out Mourinho. He's fallen out with his players earlier on this week. So there's just a lot going on there. There's a lot wrong there. Whereas Villarreal, they've got the stuff there. They're not the best team, but they've got the stuff together. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think like Harrison said, I could see another comfortable win at home, and I reckon they'll be through to what would be the semi-finals. But moving on then. So we had Ajax, they were at home against Roma, and Roma won 2-1. What do you think of that, Ethan?
Well, I thought Ajax would have won this, to be fair. They should have, because I'm pretty sure they were 1-0 up, I'm pretty sure. Or 1-1, whatever it was. But yeah, good away victory for Roma. Yet again, with the away goal. They've got 2, so should be a comfortable one for Roma if they don't concede more than 2.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, what do you think, Az?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, pretty shocking away win. Obviously, and congrats to Roma. But I don't know. I feel like sure, there's been a lot, outgoings in terms of the club for Ajax, but I'm fairly certain they've got a solid team still, a first team, and bench really is fairly solid. So I don't know, especially with Ajax being at home, I didn't really expect them to lose. But again, props to Roma, they still got a fairly decent side again. Recently we're in the Champions League as well as Ajax. Yeah. So these are probably 2 fairly strong sides, and I guess Roma just pulled through. And when it goes to home to Roma, I mean, from what it looks like, they're probably going to win that as well. So we'll see. But Roma's in like a pretty good place right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have to agree. I mean, it's pretty good from Roma to pull a result away like that as well. 2 away goals as well. It's pretty impressive. And for me, I just think Ajax, I think now this is really going to make their confidence really low because of where they were. I mean, we all remember what they did in the Champions League, and then they've dropped to like the levels of Europa, and they've just lost at home as well. I think it's a confidence drop. It's going to be a massive confidence drop for Ajax, and that's why I think that's brilliant from Roma, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second leg of it. Because obviously, Roma have got the away goals, but it's still a close scoreline, so it's still on. I mean, a bit like Dynamo Zagreb, really. Like, they've still got a chance of pulling something out the bag, because you know. So we'll see. But they're moving on then, and to be honest, going on to this next one, I think it was a result that we expected. Really, Granada at home against Man United. Man United got a 2-0 win. So I'll let Ethan go first on that.
So United with a 2-0 away win. Very good away win, to be fair. Bit of a shit game because I watched it. It was a shit game, to be fair.
Right.
But United with the win. And, of course, Bruno Fernandes scores a penalty.
Fernandes.
Was it Rashford who scored, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Good finish from Rashford. Granada, I think you're heading out, to be fair.
I mean, I'm going to let Haz say what he thinks on this then.
Yeah, well, apart from the striker, a very predictable game. Honestly, obviously domestically, Man United have been doing pretty well, probably better than expected compared to a lot of people's initial predictions of the league. Granada as well, I'd say in the Spanish league, have definitely had a glow up in the past few seasons. I did not expect them to even be in the Europa League, to be honest with you, but like I said, compared to 2 sides, Man United have got the clear advantage. And I mean, I think in most people's books, they're definitely going to be in the semis, maybe even the final of the Europa League. So yeah, definitely not a surprise there, but decent win for United.
Yeah, I mean, for me, fair enough, they got the job done, but for me, United in this competition, they should be expecting to get into that final. With the team that they've got, the levels above most of the teams in this competition. Not to put the win down, they got the job done, which is good. But let's be honest, what else did we really expect? And now United have perfectly set themselves up now, because they're going to be at home in the second leg. And I can't see him doing a Tottenham Hotspur, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I know Tottenham were away, so it's different anyway when they bottled it. But yeah, for me, I think fair play to him, getting the job done. And yeah, so that's all you can really say on that one, really. They did what they're expected to do, but that doesn't always happen, so still fair enough to him. Yeah. Right, moving on then. So I saved this one to last on purpose because it's just shocking, really, for one team anyway. Arsenal Arsenal at home against Slavia Prague, right? And it's ended 1-1. And if you didn't know, I think Arsenal scored in the 85th minute, and then Arsenal then conceded with a minute to go in the final minute of added time. So it ended a 1-1 draw at home for Arsenal against Slavia Prague. I don't even know what to say about this. I'm going to go to Haz first this time on what you think about this.
Yeah, I mean, in most people's books, absolutely shocking. I mean, obviously, you look at domestically, even before this match, you had a great chance to capitalise on just a loss of confidence in Liverpool's eyes. Didn't let Liverpool run riot, and going into that match, Arsenal definitely just had the confidence in terms of the mentality, but they just didn't capitalise, had no threat or intensity in the final third. And I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I assume it was the same story where it's probably a very boring game. Also lacked any form of pressure when it came towards even scoring goals. So yeah, and I guess Slavia Prague, even though they're definitely not the ones that should be at least drawing, I got one goal, and it just shows that something's definitely wrong in the club.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just going to jump in on this one and just say, for me, it's... If you look at Arsenal, they actually created chances as well. Lacazette,
right.
I don't know if anybody saw it. Lacazette was literally through. He's run all the way from the halfway line, I think it is. There's no defenders back. He's got all the time in the world. And he's through on goal. He's ran all that way and he hits the bar. It's just that sums up Arsenal for me. He's got all that time, all that space. He can literally pick a spot. It's going to go in. The keeper dives down early, so he could even go down the middle if he wanted to, and he hits the bar. That sums up Arsenal for me. They're shot on confidence as well. I don't think the players have any belief in each other or themselves, to be honest. And I mean, to be conceded in the final minute of added time, I mean, that just exposes how bad Arsenal are mentality-wise, that they can't even hold out. They scored their first goal, Arsenal did, in the 85th minute, and they can't hold a lead for the rest of the game from that point. That shows Arsenal's mentality, I think, and it exposes Arsenal defensively and on the attack as well, because they created so many chances, Arsenal did. Saka missing in front of goal, Lacazette missing in front of goal. Everybody's been moaning about Thomas Partey. Apparently he had a dreadful game against Slavia Prague. So all gone wrong for Arsenal in that fixture, but I'm going to let Ethan talk about what he thinks about this.
Man, they're just wank. They are just wank. They are shit. I'm sorry, but you score, fair enough. You're 1-0 up with however so minutes to go. When did he score? 86th?
85th, 86th minute. Yeah.
So 4 minutes to go plus added time.
Yeah.
Arsenal got the win, but no, they concede because the stupid twats can't even defend. Another minute. Stupid. Absolute lazy. Honestly, I'm glad falling apart. The twats. They're all shit. Aubameyang. That's dickhead. Lacazette, Jesus Christ, he's even worse. Oh. And now you're going on about the crossbar. Fucking hell. To be honest, it's better than what he normally does.
Oh,
He doesn't even hit the ball.
Oh, trust me, it's certainly, if you watch that highlight, if you watch that highlight, it's certainly not better, honestly. You go and watch it, it's a disgrace. To be fair.
Anyway, I mean, I could say way worse things about Arsenal.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could. I think you should leave it there.
Stop there.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there. So, Arsenal, you drew to 1-1. If you can pull it back in the second leg, good for you. But get a grip, man.
There you go. Strong words from Ethan. Get a grip.
Strong words.
Get a grip. Right. We'll move on then to the Champions League, and then we'll preview.
Get away from that shit composition. Is it?
All right. It's not that bad.
It is.
You wouldn't be saying that of Stoker in it, would you?
No.
There you go. Right. Anyway, let's get straight into it then. Now, I'm going to save probably the worst for Haz to last.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
So we'll start with Porto. They were at home against Chelsea, and Chelsea ended up winning 2-0. What did you think of that, Ethan?
Yeah, really, really 2 good goals from Chelsea as well. I have to say. Mount he makes the defender look. He's confused, mate. The defender, bloody hell, he doesn't know where he is. And Chilwell, honestly, the left back situation for England is just immense right now. You don't know who to pick. Luke Shaw and Chilwell, who are in great form for both of them are in great form. So it's gonna be hard for Gareth Southgate to pick who's starting.
Yeah,
for them, but really good win away as well. So fair play to Chelsea. Another clean sheet as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say that both of the goals are class, like you said. I mean, the goal from Chilwell, for a left back to be doing that. Not only that, right? He gets through 1-on-1, and you're thinking, oh yeah, you just pick a corner. No, he goes even one step further and takes it around the keeper. I mean, the confidence as a fullback to be doing that as well. I mean, that's something that you'd be raving about if a left winger did it. Never mind, a fullback. So fair play to Chilwell. And I've got to be honest, I'm just going to call it right here. I think that, I'm not saying I agree with this, but I think that will cement his position now as starting left back for Euros. Because Southgate clearly prefers him, you'd say. He does give him more minutes generally. And then when he does stuff like that, Southgate has got the backing to do it. So, fair play to Chelsea, though. It's away, 2 very big away goals, and it just takes off the pressure now for the home leg, massively for them. But fair play, they got the job done. And to be honest, I mean, Porto, I think they've just done well to get this far anyway. Really, even if they
beat Juventus, didn't they?
Yeah, so, even if they, they're probably going to. They could well. I'm not going to say they will because we've not gone into the predictions yet. You never know what we're going to say, but they could. They could well crash out. But even if they do, I mean, fair play to them for getting this far. But anyway, I'm going to go to Haz on what he thinks about this.
Not too much to add really. Again, very solid from Chelsea. Definitely bouncing back from obviously the shocker against West Brom. Obviously, they had to prove a point in the more important cup or competition or anything for Chelsea right now. It's their only chance at going for it, I guess. So they definitely proved the point against Porto. Again, probably the easiest they probably could have gone in terms of clubs.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you guys said, they got the job done. And it seemed that, like you said earlier, Mason Mount had a very good game. So, I mean, individual performances and just as a team was pretty solid. So there you go, yeah. Not much else to say.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And a win like that as well could give Chelsea massive confidence whilst they're in this top 4 battle. So,
yeah.
But moving on then, we'll go to Man City, who were at home against Dortmund, and they got a 2-1 win. Although I will say, just before we go to anybody, I don't know if anybody else thinks this, but for me, it should have been 2-2 because I don't know if anybody else saw the Jude Bellingham incident with the goal. But Edison is just blatantly dived. But because the ref blew the whistle before the ball actually hit the net, VAR is not allowed to interfere, which is really annoying because if he hadn't blew the whistle at that point, VAR comes in, they see it's not a foul, and Dortmund are all square with 2 away goals. But anyway, I'm going to go on to what you think about that win, Ethan.
Yeah, good. Foden on that game, in that game was brilliant, honestly. Obviously got the 90th minute winner for Man City, but no, Jude Bellingham deserved the goal.
Yeah,
really deserved that goal. Edison just a prick for diving. That's all I can say about Edison. He's just a prick for diving, and I don't get why it was disallowed. Really, fair tackle on the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
He doesn't even touch him really.
he doesn't touch him at all. He just takes the ball off him, and like I say, because the ref blows before it's gone in, before it's gone over the line, VAR is not allowed to interfere unless it goes in, and because he's blew before,
shit rule.
It is
shit rule.
But to be fair, the referee knows that is going to be the case. Why does he need to? Even if you definitely think it was a foul, why can't you just wait anyway? Because even if it is a foul and you let the goal go in, VAR will pick that up anyway. Why?
Yeah.
You know, that is an example for me of a referee not even taking advantage of something which is meant to be helping him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, good win for Man City though. Dortmund with the away goal though. So hopefully, I actually do want Dortmund to win, but
me too.
Oh yeah, but I just quick question in there: is that wrong of you because it is still an English club?
Not really. No.
Yeah, but
I mean, say like for Hearts, for example. Rival. You don't want You don't want Man City to win because you're a Liverpool fan.
But for you, that's fair enough. But for you, Ethan, as not a rival,
I just don't like Man City. I generally don't like Man City.
But is it wrong to be backing a German club over one of your own English teams?
No.
Just straight up no on that.
Like, to be fair, or like as a fan, or Stoke in the Premier League, no.
What?
So
what has this got?
Could say, you could say like, oh, I could like support any club in like Germany for like.
Oh, that's weak. That is. No. Right, I'll tell you why it's weak. Because Stoke aren't in the Prem. But do you live in England?
Yes.
Were you born in England?
Yes.
Right. So it's still part of your nationality then?
Yes.
So some would argue, I'm not saying I do, but I'm just throwing it out there, some would argue that surely you should be supporting a team that's representing football for your country over a foreign club that's going against clubs from your country. Some would say, I'm not saying I do, but some would argue
Sorry, I just want to butt in here basically, just to put my own 2 cents on this.
Okay, yeah.
You gotta... Sure, it's an English club against a German club, but if you look at the legs that are happening right now, there's Liverpool, which is also an English club, and you've got Chelsea. Sure, but it should be the moral thing, I guess, whatever you want to say, to support that English club. But there's still 2 more English clubs in the running, so there's still that that sort of leeway to pick.
All right.
Your favourite side, I would say.
All right, so all right then, fair enough. I've got one last question then, which would be, would you rather have an English club against a foreign club in the final or 2 English clubs? Because some people would say 2 English clubs in the final is the best because it best represents football for our country, or would you rather have an English club against a foreign club because you could do another country in a final? I'm just,
Yeah, for me, personally, it entirely depends on how the entire cup goes. For me, even though I argued that previous point, if it is where there's only one English club, say by the semi-finals, then I'll be supporting that English club. Yeah. The fact that there's multiple clubs means that, obviously there's still a club there which I support, but if I wasn't supporting that club, then I would still, it's not really to do with preference, really. It's just that because there's multiple, I'm not really going to, choose, I don't know where I'm going with this, but pretty much basically what I'm saying is, like, I don't really care if it's English versus English, because, I mean, the last time we've had that, it was a really boring final for one.
Yeah, it was, to be fair.
Yeah. Secondly, I feel like that's a bit of an overhyped thought, and having a European club just makes the final a bit more interesting anyway.
Well, like I say, I'm not saying I'm one way or the other, but I just thought it'd be interesting to see what you prefer on that, because yeah. But anyway, going back to Man City, because I don't think even me and Haz have even spoke about that yet. I just sort of got lost down this route of Yeah.
Decent debate though,
Yeah, fair enough. But so has Man City 2-1 victors at home against Dortmund. What do you think of that, mate?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we just touched on it, but
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's another VAR loophole that's, decided to fail the match.
Yeah.
If that one thing didn't happen, it would have been a second goal, no doubt, and that would have, with the away goals, would have shaked up the time massively, just because of one decision.
Yeah.
And it always goes back to this point of, sure, VAR's in the game, but it's just still not being implemented correctly. Whenever you look, if it's in domestically, if it's in the Premier League, if it's in the Champions League, it's still not consistent, which is the issue. But moving on, actually looking at the game, again, both teams, I would say, played a decent game. Obviously, Foden getting that last goal was very clutch. And, I mean, you can't really fault other player over standards. Foden is a very good player, and, yeah, again, he's getting that final goal for his club, really, and he's putting himself in that first-team position. Obviously, that's also good news for England fans, because he's even getting even more confidence in these higher, more tougher games. So, yeah, overall performance, pretty solid, and, yeah, fair enough on Man City, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, I'd say, even though they had that, that incident, Jude Bellingham, it's still, pretty good for Man City. They got the job done. Yeah, like you say, Foden scoring the winner, which is massive for England, like you say. They needed that. They needed to win at home, because away it's going to be so difficult. I mean, if there was fans, wow, that'd be a tough fixture.
Oh, mate, if there was fans, the German war, mate. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
Yeah.
But, obviously, it isn't, and they've won at home, and they've set themselves up against... Yeah, I know people go, Dortmund aren't that good, but, they managed to silence Erling Haaland, and I think we have to give credit for that. You could say Erling Haaland played poor, but at the same time, they've not let him get in there. And I think that's pretty good from Man City, really, because, I mean, how many goals he's been scoring in Champions League? He's been doing really well, really, overall in that competition. So fair play to Man City, and we'll see what happens in the second leg. But then we're going to go on to Bayern. They were at home against PSG, and Bayern lost 3-2. So, what are we saying about that, Ethan?
Well, I think in the second leg, Bayern need to pick themselves up and actually not concede. And they need to score a goal at least to win. But no, PSG played really well. Mbappe scoring the first goal. Just using his pace. He's probably he probably is the quickest player in the world right now. So it just shows how good he is.
Yeah.
And Neymar as well played really good for PSG. Got 2 assists.
Yeah.
In the game. But your boy Choupo-Moting scored again.
Still reject.
Yep.
What a guy.
Oh, mate. But no, good win for PSG. Be an interesting second leg, to be fair.
Yeah.
See what happens in the second leg.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think PSG, they got 3 away goals, right? So Bayern have got to score at least 2. And not concede if they want to do it that way to get through. I think it's a good job. It's a good job from PSG. It's mainly through Mbappe, like it usually is. Not because PSG are a one-man team. They're definitely not. But just Mbappe's just that good that he makes the headline every time for PSG. For Bayern, though, I mean, it's not. I know it's PSG, but it's not good enough. You can't be letting, if you want to get to that final again, like they did last year. I mean, they won it, didn't they? But if they want to get to them heights again, you just can't be conceding 3 in the home leg.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that. It's too many. I think, especially the first goal as well, Neuer will be disappointed with himself because he's let it go through his legs like that. And that's just the worst start possible, because it's a goal that really it shouldn't go in, really. So they were already starting from not the best position, from something that could have been avoided, really. So it was always going to be difficult. Fair play to Choupo-Moting, like you're saying, for where he was, getting relegated from Premier League to what he's doing now. Yeah, I know we all go on about, he must have an unbelievable agent to get him at these clubs, and yeah, I don't know how he's made this jump. But to be fair, he is, when Lewandowski is out, he does deliver. He does get a goal or two, and it was a good header the other night, to be fair, against PSG that he got. So fair play to him. But yeah, I'd say overall very good from PSG. The main man being Mbappe once again. And, I mean, it's going to be a really good second leg. Bayern have got to go for it. PSG are going to be desperate to hold it. They're probably going to have to try and get a goal or two to keep it silent. So, yeah, good first leg, 5 goals in it. PSG have just come out on top. Mauricio Pochettino just showing that when he's got a quality side, he can beat anybody. But, fair play to PSG. What do you think, Az?
Yeah, honestly, after watching the extended highlights, for me, it felt like a very tight semi-final or even a final. The game itself was so, I don't know, just really fun to watch. Both teams really went at it. Sure, defensive areas cost Bayern Munich, especially at home. Yeah. But I don't know, I think both sides pulled out a really good performance. There was definitely some highlight players. Obviously, Mbappe's third goal was just pure class. Stuff like that is like, it's 1 in 100, really. Like, you, especially in a competition like this, you can, stuff like that puts the nail in the coffin of him just being like a player in the future to be like a legend, really. Yeah. Like, sure, like, this might be a thing where, in a few seasons you're going to drop off, but in the league and, because you say, Farmers League, but in the league and in competitions like this, he constantly proves himself, and that individual performance himself, obviously there's a few other people, but I don't know, the main driving force for PSG is definitely their attack. Yeah. And, I mean, it just shows when Bayern Munich concede 3. Like, it could have been any side, you could have the strongest defence in the competition, but it doesn't matter when you got a strike force consisting of Neymar and Mbappe. Like, it's ridiculous, and they're probably again favourites to be in that final for a second year in a row.
Definitely,
to be honest,
agree. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to one that Haz is not going to enjoy, really. Bringing back recent memories. Real Madrid at home against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool looking to really push on in the Champions League, considering they've had a tough season in the Prem. And Liverpool suffered a 3-1 defeat to Real Madrid. What do we think of that? I'm going to start with you, Haz, since you are a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, initially looking at the score, fucking deja vu once again. It's a 3-1 defeat to Real Madrid. Bringing back some bad memories, but this is the game I did fully watch, and I can say that, sure, Real Madrid attacking was much more efficient, much more concise. That, the link-up play with Benzema and Vinicius, obviously he got Player of the Week, was phenomenal, really, and again, we'd have the strongest defence right now. I'll go into that in a little bit, but yeah, them two with the link-up was really nice to watch, regardless of who you are as a fan. But throughout the game, I did feel, especially the first 15 minutes of the second half, Liverpool definitely had a chance to capitalise on Real Madrid, who were thinking they won by the first half, I thought. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys were watching, but there were, like, Joker and the ref in the tunnel before the second half, and they're really casual about it, thinking they won it the first half, and fair enough, I appreciate the confidence, but I think definitely in the first 15 minutes Liverpool did take him off guard, got a goal, it was looking pretty good, but then, I don't know, we just kind of lost it. Real Madrid got back into the rhythm, and once again, the link-up attack was really, really good, like both halves, really, it was just pretty good to watch. Real Madrid's defence, again, without Varane and Sergio Ramos, didn't really notice the loss, to be honest. Sure, like there's some things we could like capitalize on, like crosses and stuff, but ultimately, I think without those two players, he still played really well in defence as well, and he really turned it to the occasion, really, especially against the likes of Jota, who's really informed, Salah and Mane. Like, you know, as much as I am a fan of Liverpool, I do have to give props to Real Madrid on that game, and we'll see what we have to do at home. Obviously, it's a different story at home for Anfield. You know, we've seen that countless times in the past and present. You know, so we'll see. You know, but props to Real Madrid on that game.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on that game quickly. I mean, Vinicius Junior, what a player he is. At his age, what he's producing, and Toni Kroos as well.
I forgot about
that
him.
Ball over the top. Just generally in the game, just technical ability is just unbelievable. He's one of those players as well that goes under the radar as well. Like we don't talk about him as much as I think we probably should do. He is a quality midfielder, but I think for Liverpool, it's just I think they've got to be really careful because let's just say they don't get top six. Right, they've got everything riding on this to get them at least something this season.
Yeah.
For me, if they crash out of this competition this season, this turns into a nightmare for Liverpool. If they don't get top six as well, because they've essentially gone from being at the top to losing it all in a space of a season. I mean, they've had a tough season as well. Don't get me wrong; a lot of stuff's happened. They've had a really tough season. That's another reason why I think Liverpool should try and grab this competition, win it. Because even if they didn't get top six, if they've won the Champions League, they're still one of the best this season. Because if you win the Champions League, you've got to be. But yeah, for me, I think Real Madrid have set themselves up really well now for this second leg because, you know, they've put 3 past Liverpool, winning 3-1. It's away, which is difficult, but, you know, like I said, they've given themselves a decent scoreline to make it a bit more comfortable for themselves. In terms of Liverpool, the final thing I'll say on this, in terms of Liverpool, they've just got to give it everything now. Chuck everything into this game now, and you never know at Anfield. I mean, I don't like saying it in some ways because in some ways I do think, do we reuse these things too much? But Barcelona, man, they've done it to one Spanish club before. Who's used to say they can't do it again. But
arguably at the time a better Spanish club as well. Like I'd say Barcelona then were probably better than Real Madrid at this current state.
The only thing to say is you'd say Liverpool's team then was a far different team than it is now. Just in the sense that, you know, the players that they had then, like Van Dijk and stuff, and the confidence and the mentality. But, you know, we'll see what happens. It is Liverpool. They're still a massive club. And I'm sure they'll put up a good fight in the second leg. But I'll let Ethan say what he thought about that game.
Well, with the goals for Real Madrid, they were like decent goals. Especially the first one was a brilliant over the top through ball from Toni Kroos. Really underrated player. But I will have to say the next 2 goals that they conceded are like avoidable.
Yeah.
Like, the errors they've made were shocking on the night.
Yeah.
Like, Trent, for example, header, trying to head it back to the keeper from his position. It's avoidable. And they've been punished for it. So, if they want to get a comeback on, they need to score the first goal. That's crucial.
Yeah.
Because if they don't score the first goal, it's done. Real Madrid are cruising. Since of away goal and everything.
Cruising. Brilliant.
They'll be, won't they? They'll be cruising.
Yeah, with Toni Kroos.
Exactly.
Cruise Control. The name of a brilliant ultimate team, that is, if you didn't know.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Know what I'm about. Right, anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Right. So we'll move on then, and we'll just quickly go through our score predictions then. We'll start with the Europa League. We'll start with, no offence, probably the one that people are least interested in. No offence if you are interested in it, but Villarreal at home against Dynamo Zagreb. 1-0 on aggregate to Villarreal. What do you think will happen in this one, Has?
Well, as I said before, Villarreal away getting a 1 goal. I wouldn't be surprised if at home double that, and I'm going to just keep it short since I didn't really watch the last game, but I'm pretty confident they'll probably come with I'd say a 2-0 victory for Villarreal onto the next round, I'd say.
Okay, Ethan, your score prediction for that game?
Well, like I said, they are a really comfortable side against Dynamo Zagreb. And I actually do agree with the result as well, so I'm going to go with 2-0 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think Villarreal, they're very consistent, and that's exactly why I think they'll win 1-0 again at home. I think they've got more than enough to beat Dynamo Zagreb. Still think it'll be a close game. I think they're just going to deliver exactly the same, which is more than enough. So, 1-0 Villarreal.
Fair enough, yeah.
Okay, moving on then. Roma at home against Ajax. Obviously, 2-1 on aggregate to Roma. What do you think the score will be in this one, Ethan?
Since they've got the away goal, I think Roma are going to cruise at home. With this Ajax side going down the pecking order with this year, they haven't been up to scratch due to the really good talents going away, like De Ligt, De Jong, Van der Beek, and then players, etc. I think Roma are going to have a good time with Ajax. And I think it's going to be 2-0 to Roma.
Okay, fair enough. Has your score prediction for this one?
Yeah, again, I would say a little bit strange in terms of an Ajax point of view. Sure, they've lost some key players over the last few years and going down that pecking order. However, I don't know, I've just got a slight feeling because obviously with away goals, they're going to obviously put quite a bit of pressure on Roma just to try and obviously qualify because they are the second team in that leg. I don't know, I think they will catch Roma off guard, not necessarily win, but I'm seeing a 1-1 draw. Roma will still go through, but I just think it'll be a closer game than before.
Okay, fair enough. I think I partly agree with what you said, Haz. I think Ajax will chuck everything at it. And that's why I think Ajax will win 1-0. Obviously, Roma would still go through on away goals because it'd be 2-2. So they'd still go through on away goals. But I think Ajax will get the 1-0 win. But Roma will still go through ultimately. So, moving on then. Man United at home against Granada. 2-0 on aggregate to Man United. What do you think the score will be in this one, Ethan?
Well, obviously United this season have been amazing away from home. And it just shows they won 2-0 against Granada. But I think it'll be comfortable, but they still will concede. I think it'll be 2-1 United. Okay,
fair enough. Has your score prediction for this one?
Well, riding on an away victory against any side, that's going to bring confidence to the team. And again, any team, when you go to Old Trafford, it's going to be a pretty tough game. Personally, I'll say United are probably going to find this pretty easy, and I'll probably just go for a 3-0 win for United.
You know what's funny? I can't believe you just said that because that's actually I've had that score in my head since thinking about this. I was like, I bet I'm gonna be the only person to have enough confidence in United for this game and say I'm gonna say 3-0 I am when it comes to me. But I'm gonna go with.
Gonna feel it.
I think United are gonna win 3-0 as well, just because I think they'll have a lot of confidence going into this one. They've done them 2-0 away. They're at home, and I just think they're gonna. I think it's going to be a little bit of fun for United. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they won't go out there and try. I think they will, but I think they'll have a little bit of fun with this fixture. And I think I think they'll have. I think they'll get a 3-0 win and show the difference in quality at home. But then moving on to the final fixture, which is Slavia Prague will be at home against Arsenal, currently 1-1 on aggregate. What do you think the score will be for this one, Az?
Probably the toughest one to predict, honestly, because obviously looking at Arsenal's previous form, it's not been great. It's been pretty dire. However, it's Arsenal, and they've still got those players that might turn up for a competition like the Europa League, especially considering it's, play well or you're out kind of deal. So I feel they'll deliver some form of a performance, but I don't know if it'll be enough to qualify, honestly. I think I might just, I don't know. No, I think they'll definitely be goal. I might go for a 1-1, actually. I was going to say 0-0, but I think it might just be the same result, honestly. They're going to bring some form of performance, but I think Slavia will as well. It might just end up being the same game as the last leg, maybe. I don't know. That's probably my guess, though.
Who would win, though? Because obviously...
They'd be level on away goals.
And then it'd be... Sorry, I didn't think about that extra time. Anyone's game, really. I guess I'll just say Arsenal at that point. But... Yeah. I think he'll go to extra time, and I suppose then Arsenal, I feel, would clinch it.
Yeah.
But, I feel like for the result, it'd probably be the same 1-1, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Ethan, your score prediction for this one?
Since Arsenal have been shit recently, and this season have been shit, I think they need something to bounce back off. So I think they will go for it, and I think the first goal will win the game, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 victory for Arsenal.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. For me, I think Arsenal, they won't... Arteta will want them to throw everything at it. I don't think the players will. I don't think the players are playing for the manager anymore. I don't think they really... If I'm being completely honest, I don't think they really care about the club. If you look at the effort that they put in, their best players, the most expensive players that are on the biggest wages, like Aubameyang and Lacazette, aren't delivering anymore. They're not showing effort when they're getting on the ball. And for me, you're going up against Slavia Prague that have got less quality, but they'll put everything into it. They're a real unit, real team. And I think, a team goes over an individuals. So for me, I think Slavia Prague will win 1-0. And Arsenal get knocked out. And I'm going to save that for the debate. But right. Right. So then we'll go to the Champions League second leg fixtures then.
Yeah.
So starting off with Chelsea-Porto. Chelsea at home and obviously winning 2-0 on aggregate. What do you think the score will be for this one, Ethan?
To be fair, it's a tough game, to be fair. Wait, who did you say again? I forgot.
Chelsea at home. Chelsea at home against Porto.
Chelsea, yeah. Well, it's at home, so Porto are going to be trying to throw everything in. But Chelsea have got too much good quality at the minute, with likes of Mount, Ziyech, and all them players like that. I think Werner will actually score a goal. I hope he does, because I want him to score. So I'm going to say another 2-0 win for Chelsea. All
right. Well, I'm just gonna. For me, I'll just throw mine in there, mix it up a bit. I'm just gonna. I'd say 2-1 Chelsea. I reckon Porto will take an early lead, and Chelsea will just bring on a brilliant comeback, fill themselves with even more confidence, and get a 2-1 win at home. Although I don't think Werner will score. And can I just say as well, right? What is this thing about Werner where everybody, they're all like, oh, please, Werner, I really hope you score. Or, all this thing of like, oh, he didn't score. He missed the sitter from 2 yards. But did you see that pass that nearly led to a goal? And I'm only going on about this, right? Because I don't know why he gets a special treatment, man. And I'm saying this because I haven't got an issue with Werner. I haven't got an issue. But if this was Lacazette, oh, he's terrible. Oh, screw him. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But when it's Werner could miss the same chance. Oh, poor Werner. English football's so hard. Oh, for me, let's just cut it, right? He's on a good wage. He's in... Exactly. I said it, the PG version of that, but you just go there. right?
Yeah.
But let's be real about it. You know, he's on a good wage. He's in the big boy league. He's not delivering. So
Definitely.
But yeah, I'll say 2-1 Chelsea. What about you, Az?
Yeah, like, not how the game will go, but I agree with the result of a 2-1 victory for Chelsea. I think they'll just go in for confidence. It'll probably be 2-0, and then towards the end of the match, Porto will try to bring something back. But I think Chelsea have definitely got this in the bag, and 2-1 just seems the most, like, I don't know, it probably makes most sense, I think, because obviously Porto are going to try and bring something back. They've got some form of quality in the side, but I think Chelsea have just got that edge, regardless of where they're going to play, you know. So, yeah, 2-1, I'd say.
Okay, fair enough. So then let's go to Dortmund, Man City. So Dortmund at home against Man City, obviously 2-1 on aggregate to Man City right now. What do you think the score will be as?
Pretty hard, to be honest, because if there was an attendance at the Dortmund Stadium, like, you know, it's like the German Liverpool, isn't it? Like, their fans and that stadium would change the result. But obviously, that's not the case. It's going to be an empty stadium. And judging the quality of both sides, I think, you know, sure, like Haaland and Bynum and like a few key players for Borussia Dortmund, but if you look at both sides, I just think Man City have that class, have that ability, have those, you know, key players like Foden, De Bruyne. You know, you could go on really. Like, you know, those players outweigh Dortmund, I think, to an extent that they're probably going to get a win. And whether it is home and away, I'd honestly probably put it to a 2-0 Man City win, I would say.
Okay, fair enough. Ethan, your score prediction?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I was like, Man City got so much quality, and I think they would just outplay Dortmund because they'll know what's coming against them, like with Haaland and everything. I'm gonna say a 1-0 win for Man City.
Okay, fair enough. I'm literally gonna say the same score as the first fixture. I think Man City will win 2-1, get another 2-1 win. I reckon will have got 2 goals by 60, 70 minutes in, and Dortmund will keep trying to search for a goal. They'll struggle, and I reckon Haaland's just going to knock one in to prove his quality, but it's not going to mean for anything in terms of Dortmund late on. So I'm going to say 2-1 Man City. All right, so moving on then. We'll go to Liverpool, who will be at home against Real Madrid. Currently 3-1, obviously, on aggregate to Real Madrid. But what do you think the score will be? By the way, a Liverpool fan, so I don't know if the score's going to be a bit crazy. I don't know. Let's see.
No, well, I mean, obviously I'm coming in with a hopeful perspective, but, you know, you want the realistic prediction. I think, you know, across history and across recent form, Liverpool will turn up and deliver a pretty good performance, I would say. I don't know, I'm trying to like work out what it means for away goals to get into it. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at the fixture here, and I don't know. As a hopeful Liverpool fan, obviously I want them to win, but I think realistically, I think Real Madrid will still have an edge, and probably it'll be a close game, a low-scoring game, I would say, and I think Real Madrid will just snatch a 1-0 win. I want Liverpool to win, obviously. There's no doubt about that, but you know, this season with injuries and just general performance issues, like Liverpool just don't have enough this season, which I'm fine with, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So
yeah, that's fair enough. Right, okay, well, I mean, I'd say personally for me, I think it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. I think. To be honest, like I mean, obviously you're a Liverpool fan, so you're going to say that, but I almost agree with you. Like I actually want Liverpool to go through because I just think like I feel sorry for them, just in the sense that you've got people being so ridiculous, coming out saying, "Oh, are Liverpool bad champions?" Stuff like that. I don't even. I mean, to be fair, that whole question, I've seen that going around a lot. Roy Keane coming out saying they are bad champions. I mean, it's a bit stupid anyway, because if you think about it, you've got the word bad next to champion. Doesn't really,
Yeah,
you can't really be bad if you're a
ironic,
champion.
really.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, I think it'll be too hard for Liverpool, if I'm being completely honest, even though I would want them to win.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Real Madrid will get a 1-0 win. Maybe Vinicius scoring again, if I had to say somebody. But Ethan, your score prediction?
I'd agree with you with the result. I'd say a 1-0 win.
We're all saying 1-0,
Yeah.
But Liverpool will give it a good go.
Yeah.
And I think Klopp will go, really attacking.
Mm.
Yeah, and
maybe putting 4 forwards up as well. So
yeah, and can I just say as well, just very, very quickly, that let's put some respect on Klopp's name, please, because I listen to a lot of Talk Sport, right? And the amount of Liverpool fans going on saying Jurgen Klopp out, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, literally, I'd never thought there'd be a single Liverpool fan that'd be like that, but there's so many going on. We've had enough. I'm just put some respect on Jurgen, right? The board will back him definitely for what he's done.
Yeah.
Give him this summer. Give him some time. I'm sure Liverpool will be back to where they were soon. Just not this season.
Yeah. Just to add on that as well, I think for Liverpool supporters, well, this is definitely a minority here, but when you've got a fan base, or at least a part of a fan base, that's used to a club succeeding. Look at Liverpool, the past years, obviously excluding this season, playing fairly well, obviously Champions League, just missed out on the Premier League, and then the next season, smashing the Premier League. You get used to that sort of consistency, I guess, if it's 2 seasons running and everything's looking good in a club. But as soon as things start to change, a lot of people just don't have patience, and then they're quick to blame, Klopp.
Yeah.
You can't blame Klopp. He's a literal mastermind, man. When he came to the club, he came into a club that wasn't even qualifying for the Europa League. He got into a final in the Europa League in his first season, second season. First seasons, right?
Yeah.
Got into a final. Obviously didn't win, but that just shows the effect he has with a minute amount of players. And he's going to do it again. It's obviously a shock with Gomez going, Van Dijk, 2 key players in the defence, Henderson going, alongside multiple injuries that have been minor, but it has an effect. And, I don't want to bring it up as a reason, but outside of football, Klopp has obviously had to deal with his family.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And I just feel, over the summer, there's going to be some surprising but very crucial signings that need to be made. And I think next season, we'll forget about last season, and it'll be another really solid season, either in the Champions League or the Premier League. It's dumb to blame Klopp for the issues that we've had. It's just a shock for the team, the board, and the manager, really, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, Lee, I mean, the final thing I'll just add on that, just wait for when Van Dijk come back and all those players that they're desperately missing. Give him this summer. And if you are thinking Klopp out, at least give him all next season with his full-strength team back and some additions. But anyway, moving on to the final prediction for the Champions League, which is PSG host Bayern. And it's currently 3-2 in aggregate, obviously, in favour of PSG. What do you think the score will be for this one as?
Probably, again, a very hard game to predict, I would say, considering that these two are probably the strongest teams that are in the cup right now, and obviously they're against each other in the quarterfinals, which is, you can see in both ways, for a fan like me, it's kind of nice seeing both teams, one will go out, but there's 2 solid sides there, and on the night, anything can happen. Sure, PSG have had a very solid victory away, and they're going home. However, I don't know. I just feel Bayern will bring a better performance defensively and attacking. Again, it obviously primarily depends on if Lewandowski returns. I don't know the status on that, whether he's just ruled out for both legs or if he can come back for this one. So that in itself will decide on the attacking situation for Bayern.
Do you want me to just like put that in there, because I've been looking at that, and apparently it's looking like he will miss this second leg as well.
Right. Okay. So on that basis, then, and especially Bayern being away, they're going to bring out a better performance, definitely defensively. They're probably going to play more possession-based, more careful, but obviously going to try and attack. I think there's just too many things to balance with Bayern at this point. So, yeah, PSG are probably going to have a comfortable win. I'd probably say 2-0 PSG. Although both teams are going to probably bend the last leg, and it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. So, Ethan, your score prediction?
Well, to be fair, I think with this game, I think it's going to be tighter, but not as tight as you think it is. I think it'll be open but tighter at the same time. So, I'm going to say a 1-0 win. Actually, no, I'm not. No, that's stupid. It's PSG, for fuck's sake. I am going to say a 2-1 win to PSG.
All right. For me, I think for me, right, Bayern are going to win 1-0, but PSG will go through on away goals. Because obviously it'd be 3-3, but PSG got more away goals. So I think Bayern are going to win 1-0, and I think it's going to be Choupo-Moting with a goal. I think Bayern. Do you know what it is, right? I think PSG, they'll try and create. Bayern will hold on. Bayern will gain confidence. They'll push on. They'll get a goal, but I just think PSG will see it through. They'll see it through. So I'm going to say 1-0 Bayern though for that one. But moving on then, which is to our first debate question. I'm pretty sure, yes, it is. So, get straight into this then. Is Mikel Arteta the problem at Arsenal, or is it the players? Let's go to Haz first and his opinion on this.
Well, obviously, sure, as a Liverpool fan, I watch the Premier League. I haven't been keeping close eye on Arsenal, but you can definitely see an issue, both in the Europa League and the Premier League, of it occurring, right? And, it's near to the end of the league, so you can confidently judge Arsenal's season at this point, and it's without a doubt been a disaster. I mean, Arsenal are quite, prestigiously a part of that top four historically, and the fact that they're not even close to that position means there's a clear problem. Now, whether it's Arteta or the players, again, that's the debate. Me personally, well, hold on a minute, because I did some prior research as you were guys talking, and I guess this might spur a minor debate, but if we look at Arteta's form compared to Unai Emery's, we can see that Arteta's played 52 games, won 27, drawn 10, and lost 15, which obviously is not top four material, definitely isn't. However, if you look at Unai Emery, who had 20-ish more games, won 43, drawn 16 and lost 19. So Unai Emery's slightly better, but both managers have had similar form in terms of what they've done with their side, regardless of new signings or minor new signings, but across two managers, it's going to be a fairly similar side, right? So because of that, and since there's no progress that's really happened between those two managers, in fact, it's on the decline, I'd personally blame it on the players, because if both of these managers are having similar results, and I mean, I'd assume two different styles of play, then it has to be the players, right?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Ethan, your opinion on this?
See, I think, to be honest, I think it's both. Honestly,
no, I'm not. I'm not letting you have this. You've got to pick one or the other.
One or the other.
One or
Come
the
on,
other.
Come on, that's an easy answer.
Okay. I'll see the reason why I think it's both, though. We'll pick one. Why I think it is both is because, one, Mikel Arteta is too soft on the players and doesn't he lets them what they do, basically. And as you said before, Warren, they don't push enough or care about the team, the club.
Yeah.
And it's if you don't care about the club, you don't care about football. So what's the point of you playing if you got that attitude? It's come on, pretty much anyone would want to stand in your position and play for a football club. Honestly, I know it's Arsenal, but I'd take an Arsenal.
They would, but you looking out on the outside, and this is probably the best position to be in for us because we're all neutrals, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
For you though, I know you're saying it's close, and I agree it is. If you had to pin it down to one though, you had to go one or the other, right? Maybe you speak to the board, or you're involved in the board. It's we either shift these players, we're going to invest. We pretty much rehash the whole starting 11, or we get the manager out and we just get a couple of new signings. Where do you go? Is it the manager? If you had to pick one, is it the manager or is it the players?
Well,
do you have faith in Arteta?
I'd say I'd have faith in him because it's only one season and he's just getting used to stuff and everything. But like you said, as well, with Unai Emery, they've got similar sort of stats.
Yeah.
And those stats, when Unai Emery were there, I think everyone were slating him and everything. So, but I think with the players, though, they're just so lazy. And they just don't push or anything. So I think it is. If I had to pick one, it would be the players. Because with two managers who have got the same record as such, or similar, why should you change the manager when the players aren't doing anything for the club?
Exactly.
And AFTV and all them lot are moaning about their arse and lying down on the fucking floor. You shouldn't be seeing that. That's what Arsenal Football Club has turned people into. People who lie down on the floor when they bloody draw. Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Now, I'm going to jump in here, and look, for me, I could discuss. There's many different routes, right, and all that stuff, and it's close. It really is close. But for me, it's the manager. If I had to pick one, I'd go with the manager, right? Because and I tell you why. I get that Arsenal haven't got a very good team. I understand that. Well, they've got some bits of quality, but even those bits, those parts, they're not performing. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not delusional. I understand the set of players that he's got in front of him. But the issue I have is that for me, I just think tactically he's not there. I mean, it's like Martinelli, right? He continuously carries on with the shenanigans of having Aubameyang as a left winger and Lacazette up top.
Yeah.
Aubameyang's done nothing on the left since he's been playing him there. He's been trying it for over a season. Because he tried it when he came in at the back end of last season. He knows it doesn't work. Everybody can see it. Yet he still does it. Over Martinelli, who's young, is playing well when he comes on. Has got good aggression, desire, hunger. For me as well, I think with subs, I think he trusts them same players too much. And he just comes out with the same things. You watch the post-match interviews, it's the same thing every single time.
Yeah, I agree with that point, yeah.
And it's like, we've all said about it, especially even Ethan agreed with me, right? The players, because obviously I know you just used this as an argument to say it's the players, but you could flip it, right? We say about the players, they're lazy, they don't show enough desire. Well, why the hell are you still playing them then? Because if they don't show desire for you or hunger for the club, you don't need to play them. Because you can't be telling me that there isn't other options. There's youngsters there that would be willing, dying to start for that team, right? And that's another issue I have with Mick. I don't think he puts his foot down. I don't think.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. If I'm being serious, I don't think he is the Bulls in that changing room. If I'm being honest with you, and I think, I get that they've continuously been struggling, but they've got worse. They've got worse, right?
Yeah.
It's like
I will. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, right? I mean, at least before, okay, yeah, they weren't great. They still comfortably got to a final though in the Europa. I know they got battered by Chelsea. We still comfortably got to a final in the Europa. They still, under previous managers, were comfortable. And I know people used to take the mick, but they'd still comfortably win that FA Cup every single time. People would call, people would say, it's the only thing you can win. But at least they were winning something. Now, with Arteta, they can't even win the FA Cup, which was something that they bagged nearly every time, and we all know that. They're struggling in the Europa League. They were lucky to go past Benfica in the early rounds.
Yeah.
He picks the same players that have let him down over and over again. So for me, I'd say the main issue is actually the board, to be honest, because the board aren't interested in the club. They don't invest in the club. They own I know Stan Kroenke. He owns like a couple of NBA sides in America, and the funny thing is, he attends he's gone to a lot of games for the NBA side that he owns in America, yet he rarely attends an Arsenal match, which I know is something Arsenal fans always go on about. So there's clearly a lack of interest in the club. So for me, actually, if you wanted to solve or try and rebuild Arsenal, it's a mess from the top to the bottom. It's for me, you've got to start at the top and work your way down. And starting at the top means they need new owners. For me, I'd say if you had new owners, would I keep Mikel Arteta under new owners? No, I wouldn't, to be honest. I think new owners, new manager, and as well with the players, there's a lot of players that need to go. I think they should sell Aubameyang this summer. Get the money for him before he starts aging too much, because he's not showing the desire. He's got a dreadful haircut anyway, so why do you want that representing the club? Right?
Exactly.
Right. So for me, if I had to choose, I'd go with Arteta, but I do understand that there is a massive issue with these players, and they do continuously let the club down. And I don't like Arsenal, but Arsenal's a massive club, and the way that club's now getting run is a disgrace. But that's it. And one last thing I will say is, regardless of what they change, whether it's the manager or the players, they've got to change some or the board, which wouldn't happen really, realistically, would it? But they've got to change something quick. Otherwise, they're going to keep falling, and it's going to get to a point where they can't get back. Because it happens. It does happen. Where it gets to a point where clubs just can't come back. You slowly start dropping, you lower your expectations more and more. Because let's say, it doesn't look like they're going to get top 6, does it? They don't get top 6 this season.
No.
Imagine if they don't get top 6 next season, right? Then you go from expecting at least Europa League to, we've not been in the Europa League for a couple of seasons, should we be expecting top 6? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we should just be aiming for, higher end of the mid-table finish. Or, you know what?
It's going to keep going on.
Exactly. Or you know what? Keep getting knocked out of the FA Cup. Let's not expect to get far in that. And then you become bang average, mid-table. You become like a Southampton or something. It's a risky game. So I think regardless of what they change, they need to change something quick. And it needs to be at the end of this season, really.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, then moving on to the final part of this podcast, which is, obviously, as Ethan said at the beginning, Mbappe has officially confirmed with the club now that he won't be signing a new deal with PSG after putting on a brilliant display against Bayern Munich. He's now confirmed that he won't be signing a new deal. His contract runs out in 2022. So, not a long way, is it really? Obviously, with him not signing a new deal, obviously he is trying to get his way out, clearly. So, I'm going to start with you, Ethan. Where should Mbappe go next? If you're Mbappe, where are you going? And why?
To be fair, I think everyone wants to see him in England, to be fair. I personally, I would. But if I was him, I'd go somewhere like Real Madrid. Because they're moving in the right direction, Real Madrid are now. They weren't, a few months ago, but now they are. They're moving in the right direction. The La Liga is really tight right now. And if Mbappe could seal that move, he can prove his point that he can play against the best, like against Barcelona and all them teams. And he's literally, I wouldn't say guaranteed Champions League, but near enough. But where he is now, he is guaranteed Champions League because PSG are always first in the League On. But I would go Real Madrid because Real Madrid are moving in the right direction. I would go Liverpool because I think Liverpool are where they are, but no offense, Has, but they are. I was
going to say. I was going to say, even in the question. No offense again, obviously, but with how much they dropped off.
Been linked.
Let's be honest. No chance. No chance. Liverpool. No chance. Not being funny, but come on.
I would agree, definitely. With how the club is now and how we're building the side, I don't see another striker coming to Liverpool now. Whatever, Mbappe or just a striker that's upcoming, it just won't happen. We're focused on other parts of the field at the moment, I think.
Yeah. Another point is Erling Haaland could be going to Real Madrid as well, apparently. Well, so both players could be going to Real Madrid. And imagine that, Real Madrid, with Benzema, Mbappe and Erling Haaland.
Is that breaking financial fair play? Probably.
Yeah, but
most likely.
Yeah, but Real Madrid and Barcelona break financial fair play every year, just like Man City do.
It's pretty cruel in itself.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah, because they could break financial fair play, but Man City, they quickly go to the people that manage that. They slip him a couple of 10, 20 million, and it's a hush hush. So,
I don't think you go Man City. Because apparently, he haven't got the money. But I think Erling Haaland will go.
That's BS.
That's rubbish.
That's a load of rubbish.
I think Haaland's more likely to go Man City anyway, so they won't get him back. And I think. Is there any other clubs? Man United?
No. Well, for you.
No.
So for you, if you're Mbappe, you go Real Madrid.
I'd go Real Madrid, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Az? Well, if you're Mbappe, right, you're thinking this is an end of a chapter at PSG, and you're actually in his boots, and you've got all these cups on the table, which one are you picking?
Well, just football as a whole in its current state. For Mbappe right now, you want to max out the potential that he already has. I think, as a safe option, you want to go to a place that's already succeeding, already bringing in titles domestically and possibly in the Champions League. And you want somewhere where there's a free spot opening. Man City seems the most obvious choice in my books. You know, firstly, look at Aguero, right? End of season. Prolific striker, that side.
Yeah.
Sure, the last few seasons he's not been entirely in the system that Pep Guardiola's built. However, previously he's been crucial to Man City's success. And if you look at uprising play, sure, you got Jesus.
Yeah.
But for that striker position, for Man City to carry on being the Titans they want another prolific striker.
Yeah.
And someone who's young, someone who's talented, someone who's already won the World Cup, for one, and is smashing out in the Champions League. I just feel a safe option for Mbappe would be Man City.
Yeah.
Go to a league where, obviously, these last few seasons it's been debatable, but it is still a very tough league, regardless of how you look at it.
Yeah.
And so if he really does want to prove himself and get silverware, I think Man City is the perfect option for him this season.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, personally, in my opinion, there's two sides to this, right? Just quickly, right, where do I think he'll go? I reckon he'll probably go to Real Madrid. But obviously the main question is, if I'm Mbappe, though, and it's like me making this decision for him, then, yeah, I hate to be similar, but I have to agree with Haz, I'm going Man City. Because the thing is, right, I know we've already said he's proved that it's not the case, but he's still always going to get that thing of, oh yeah, you do all of these goals and assists, right, in a Farmers League. That's what people... I know he does it in the Champions League.
Like Messi, he still even gets that.
Exactly, right. This is an opportunity to go to a big league and get it done. Now, I know there's a lot of links with Real Madrid as well and stuff, but for me, I don't get that. I don't get what... Yeah, I know Real Madrid's a massive club. I get that. If I'm Mbappe, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, honestly. Because, yeah, Real Madrid are on the up. They're starting to get back. But the reason they're on the up is because they crashed down at the beginning of the season. Why not just go to Man City, right? Where majority of the time they've always been on the up. Look who's going to be serving you balls forward. Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I know Real Madrid have got good players, but Man City, the quality that they have is absolutely superb. And as well, I think with La Liga, right? If he goes to La Liga, he's still going to get people saying to him, yeah, mate, you're doing well, but prove yourself in a better league. Because La Liga, yeah, it's better than, the league is in right now, but realistically, it's still not regarded as a top league. And yeah, you can say Barcelona, playing against Barcelona, well, realistically, he wouldn't be there that long until Messi's probably going to retire. He looks on his way out. He's not even interested when he's playing now for Barcelona. He's slacked off this season. Nobody's happy with him because he doesn't look like he's trying to play for Barcelona anymore. So I don't see what's attractive about the La Liga or Real Madrid. I think people just, for some reason, they just romanticise like Real Madrid too much. And I think now we've got to start moving on. It's not Real Madrid, the big dogs. It is like the Man Cities. They are now the big dogs in Europe.
It's the future, right?
Exactly. So for me, if I'm Mbappe, go to Man City. They've just won they're going to win the Premier League this season. I know he wouldn't be part of that, but that just shows the quality that they are. He's going to have brilliant players around him. De Bruyne just signed a new contract with Man City as well a few days ago, by the way. So that's going to put confidence that the board know what they're doing. He's going to have great service around him. Riyad Mahrez, got all these quality players. Got a good back line. Got a good board that's willing to invest. They've got a brilliant manager. They've got everything. They're a complete club. So for me, and they're in the big league, like which is great for him because it shows he can prove himself. So for me, I'd have to agree with Haz. I'd go with Man City, just weighing all that in. But Yeah, so that was
It's
interesting.
tough decision though, really. Like,
Yeah.
obviously there's just so many clubs, so many major clubs in the world.
And
So
I can
it's
respect.
a tough choice.
And yeah, and don't get me wrong, I can respect the Real Madrids and stuff like that as well. It's just, when I weigh it all in, I would just lean to that Man City move. But yeah, I mean, it is a difficult one, like you say. Same with Arteta, really. You go one way or the other, really.
The reason why it's a debate. Huh?
Exactly. So, with all that being said, that is everything for today's pod. So, I just want to, I know me and Eve will both say this. A big thank you to Haz for joining us for this one.
Hey.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been great.
Honestly, whenever you want to come on, mate, just come on. Honestly, we love having you on, mate, on a regular.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant analysis as well. Honestly,
hey.
Brilliant.
No worries, man. No worries.
But other than that, before I know Ethan says something, I'll just quickly say, we hope you enjoyed listening, because I know we enjoyed making it. If you did like it, then please like and subscribe. If you've got any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, whatever, really, and just put it in the comment section below. Thank you for all the support that we've been getting so far, and I'm going to let Ethan add something if he wants to finish us off.
So the next video will be on the Premier League. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, hope you like, subscribe. It's free. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video.
All right. Haz, you can say something if you want to.
First time on, it was great fun. Got to analyse a few games I didn't know, but at my best shot at giving my 2 cents on it, and some real interesting debate, obviously considering Arteta and Mbappe's future move. But overall, great time, and I'll probably come on for a future one pretty soon, I'd say.
Yeah, hopefully he does. But yeah, honestly, it's been great having you on though, mate. So anyway, that is everything for this one. Like Ethan said, Premier League one should be coming soon. A Stoke one will be coming at some point soon, because obviously Stoke play tomorrow. So we'll have to do a Stoke review as well. So that'll be there at some point. But that is everything for today's pod. And we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.
In a bit.